Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Season 3, Episode 3 of the NetScaler podcast. Got a pretty great group with me today. My co-host, Isrrael Quintero, as always, but a new member, Jeffrey Olsen, is joining the XenTegra team with Justin Weldon and myself. And then a slew of Citrix NetScaler professionals are on the podcast today. And we're going to target the Enhanced SSL Profiles that were demonstrated in a webinar last week, which should be available to us in the NetScaler community page. So we'll circle back around on that in a little bit, but wanted to say good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening. It seems like we got a global presence here on this podcast. So this is pretty unique and pretty awesome. So thank you guys for helping me set this up and joining us today to record it. So welcome. So I'll do a little bit of introduction. Most of you guys know myself, Chris Dorn, run the network practice here at XenTegra from the sales side. And then joining me on the XenTegra side again is Justin Weldon, who's joined our previous podcast. And new to the team, again, Jeffrey Olsen, it's your first day, so welcome aboard. How's it going?
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's amazing to be on the other side of the fence. And just a quick intro for those on the podcast. Yeah, I had 19 years with Citrix, so I had a long run on the other side of the on the fence, and a lot of familiarity with NetScaler, a lot of familiarity with the platform. I go back to the 1024-bit keys to throw a little SSL reference in. You know, as we've migrated through the process, I've seen the evolution of how important that SSL function is on the NetScaler, but excited to hear some of the new technologies today. Excited to be working with the NetScaler team again. And Chris, excited to be part of the team.
Well, welcome. We're thrilled to have you on board. So NetScaler team, John Clayman, you've joined us previously, but want to give you guys an opportunity to say hey. So if you wouldn't mind, run around the ring here and introduce yourselves.
Good morning, everybody. As Chris had mentioned beforehand, I've been on the podcast a couple of times before this. NetScaler sales engineer previously. Now I'm a partner technical strategist. I'm going to pass off to Karthick, and he can lead on.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Karthick Srivatsan, and I'm a principal product manager here in NetScaler. I take care of ADM analytics, observability integrations, and the compliance of ADM service. I have 15 years of experience in networking and security industry, and I've been part of the NetScaler org for the past 8.5 years. I'm really excited to join Chris and a veteran and savant in Jeff Olsen. Welcome, Jeff, and my other fellow colleagues in this podcast today. Looking forward.
Thanks, Karthick.
Hi everyone, warm greetings to each and everyone present over here. I'm Subhojit Goswami. I have close to like 1 year and 2 months experience as part of being this organization, and I take care of the core NetScaler ADC feature modules that is based in SSL, and I'm really excited and really glad to be part of this group and this discussion. And I'll hand it over to Satyam. Satyam, can you just quickly introduce yourself?
Yes, sure. Hello, everyone. This is Satyam. I'm from the NetScaler SSL team. So I've been there for around 7+ years. And this Enhanced SSL profile is a kind of a baby for me. So
awesome.
Yeah. So I will be really excited to talk about it. And we'll be very excited to know about it, how people think about it, and what they want from me about this, all about this.
Right.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
No, thanks. Thanks for the introductions. And Israel's on, but he's on mute, so he'll hop in and out. Got a little home construction project going on today. But again, guys, this is awesome. So I mean, this kind of just this group, what I'm looking at on the screen shows the new angle and synergy that's coming together with partners like XenTegra and NetScaler to really, kind of peel back the layers and share with the customers and the community. And I'm super excited about how things are shaping up on the team. So as NetScaler's kind of revamped and reorged, the team seems like our ability to come together is really working out in favor for everybody. So I think the rest of this year is going to be super awesome. Can't wait to get down to Florida in a couple weeks and join the sales kickoff and see how we're going to tackle this going forward in a little bit more of a deeper fashion. But at a high level here, we want to kind of pick, as we do these podcasts, we're kind of targeting some of the components that have been addressed as we step through the newer firmwares and revisions and as the models changed and everything. So something that really kind of caught my eye and I kind of threw out there to Karthick the other week and John was the Enhanced SSL Profile component. And then as you guys were going down the webinar a little bit deeper, kind of doing some of the demonstrations and everything, I'm like, this is a pretty cool tool that, I think our listeners should be aware of at least and take advantage of having access to it to help us keep things up to date and latest and greatest and safest. So a little bit about the SSL profile. Anybody kind of want to take that and kind of define why this enhanced SSL profile was kind of brought to market for us?
Yeah, sure, Christopher. So before we delve into why the enhanced SSL profile is brought into the market for the customers and to save their time, that's one of the usefulness of that. But first, I'll try to just throw some light on what that profile entity is in itself. So, configuring NetScaler can be an overwhelming task. So NetScalers have innumerable configurable entities like virtual servers, services, etc. So usually what happens is that most of the times, entities of similar type, example, virtual servers, have those identical settings. In such cases, if config change is required, then the user have to make those changes in all those entities, and it can be a tedious task. Hence, to simplify that, the profile entity was brought. Now, profile entity itself was there, but it had some limitations, like certain newer features as well as like ECC curves and cipher bindings were left out of it. So this enhanced SSL profiles take care of all of those limitations that were posed by the legacy profile. And going forward, all these new features moving forward will be only solely available on the enhanced SSL profile.
Okay, excellent.
Satyam, you can take up
great.
anything else you have to add. Yeah.
Yeah, just to add a few more points, as Subhojit told, right? So initially, the journey of the SSL, there was everything on the, for example, V7 level. Like say all the SSL parameters was at the V7 level, same way service and service group. Then came the legacy profile, which we also call it as old SSL profile, and it only has the V server level settings, but ECC curves or bind level settings were not there as part of the legacy. Now, when these are the shortcomings basically for the legacy profile, so that's where the things which were designed for the new profile, which we also call as enhanced profile or default profile, apart from moving these bind related things like ECC ciphers to the enhanced profile, there was one more important thing which was added, is the ciphers priority. Like earlier, when you add the ciphers beginning, if you all remember, it used to expand, and it causes a huge lot of blotting in the configuration files. Now with this enhanced profile, you bind the custom cipher groups, so it won't, first of all, it won't get expanded. It will be shown as your custom cipher groups, and also there is a priority attached to it. Like, for example, if you bind several cipher groups, you can bind it with some specific priority. If you want some specific cipher group to be of highest priority, you can choose the priority 1 to that. And maybe the other as a medium or intermediate, you can choose the priority of your choice. And then some global parameters, like which are there in the SSL parameters, set SSL parameter listing, they were also pushed to the profile. So this enhanced profile is a very strong this thing, and it covers all your set related parameters for SSL, all your bind related parameters, except cert key. Cert key is still not a part of a profile, and all your ciphers priority is like a new thing which has been given to it, as well as the global parameters has been introduced in the profile. So the idea is upcoming new features, for example, TLS 1.3, session ticket, secure monitor, everything is being available only on the enhanced profile. So it will be very important, this thing that the customers should start moving it to the enhanced profile. But the pain point was when they move, right? So there is a huge lot of configuration change that happens. So to address this out, we have come up with a tool, which is very good intelligent tool that helps out the customers configurations. It reads about it, and it segregates these configurations which have similar settings, and then create a profile for them into a batch file. Right. So this is basically in a gist. Maybe we can talk more about it as we move on.
Sure. Well, look, thanks, Satyam. That was like a great overview of why, and basically the point of it is it's saving people time, not only from how it's labeled and works with the operating system on the NetScalers, but also the tool that you mentioned to help save users and customers time of updating to the enhanced profiles. So it seems like you hit it from both ends there, because we all know you can't get more time back, and anywhere that you can, we strive to try to do that. So you pointed out some good facts, though. We can bind multiple cipher groups to these. And is it still true that it kind of that priority one is going to be processed first to try to make and establish the SSL session, and then it would move down the list? So you might have like your super secure ones at the top, and then maybe some of your old legacy ones at the bottom, just so that you're not shunning or keeping anybody with some legacy configurations from working with your product. Is that true?
Exactly. That's okay. The understanding.
Awesome. And I see inside of the configurations, a lot of the scarier protocols and configurations are kind of suppressed at this point. Do the enhanced profiles themselves have the capability of maybe using something like SSL 3.0? Is that still a configuration option in these enhanced profiles, or is that just kind of not there to protect people from themselves? No, probably not.
Satyam, can you take that up?
I think I just missed a little on that. Can you?
Oh, no worries. So maybe I went into it a little too much. Well, like some of the legacy options that we had in the legacy profiles, are those available and maybe just not enabled by default in the enhanced version, or are they decommissioned?
No, they are available. So
Okay.
all the legacy related things are all available in the enhanced SSL profile.
Okay. So we're not leaving anything behind that we possibly might not be able to live without.
Right.
Awesome.
I had a question here. So I noticed this is Justin, by the way. So I noticed in the documentation it's not supported yet on FIPS. Is there any timeline for that for customers who are running FIPS?
That's a good question. Is that something you guys can talk to?
I mean, I would have checked about that, whether it's in the roadmap, and the timeline is not fixed yet, I guess. But we can get back to you on that. Probably
Sure, yeah.
not
Yeah,
at the present
okay.
level. Yeah.
Okay. I just noticed it was mentioned that it wasn't supported yet on the FIPS platform.
Correct. We'll have to check that. Yeah.
So
But for those customers, they're still using the legacy method.
Yeah.
So we had traditionally, as consultants, we've gone in and used these to try to reduce some time and give customers like a centralized location for the SSL configurations that they were using on their V servers. And, we bind them to a couple different ones, but it was typically the front end ciphers, the ones that are communicating over the public internet and integrating and communicating with the customers over that public internet. This is capable of being bound to the backend groups as well, though. So our internal servers, it is.
Correct. Absolutely. So the moment you enable the SSL default, what we call as the enhanced profile, or also known as the default profile, it has various inbuilt profiles. So for the front end, it will get binded to the front end entities as well as the backend as well. So the service groups and the backend entities. So it will get binded to both of them.
Okay, excellent. So configurations front end and back end are possible with this. So
Correct, absolutely.
Awesome. Is there any what's the minimum firmware we're looking at for this feature to be enabled?
It is available from 12.1 onwards. It's not a pretty new feature that we're talking about. The crux of this is the tool that we have created. So it has been quite some time that Enhanced SSL Profile was there, but still, as we speak, currently customers are still onto the legacy profile or no profile at all, keeping every context and every SSL settings on the vServer context level. So what we want is them to move on from the legacy profile to the enhanced profile. But just as Satyam mentioned, a particular organization, a particular customer might have innumerable VIPs, SSL vServers. So moving on from the legacy profile settings to the enhanced profile setting is a tedious task, and any miss out in between can cause havoc. For that, the particular tool is intelligent enough that it will automate the process from moving on from the legacy profile to the enhanced profile. That is the new, what I can say, value proposition that we're bringing in. And that currently, as we speak, the tool is independent. It can be executed from any platform as you need, which supports Python. But we are in the process of integrating it with the NetScaler itself. Or from the NetScaler GUI, you would be able to use it. It's in a development phase, but soon it would come.
Okay.
So there will be, yeah.
Was there feedback from customers to have this tool developed?
Correct. So currently we have showcased this tool in front of Goldman Sachs because they needed to move from the legacy profile to the enhanced profile. During the showcase and demo, they were pretty amazed with that, and it was positive feedback all through. But have they really used it and completely what has happened? We need to follow up on that. So I'm following it up. But they were pretty content when we gave the demo that they were feeling good enough that there won't be any mishaps happening when moving from the legacy to the enhanced profile.
Oh,
so
great.
That's the situation. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. So that feedback turned into a real product, and you have it available on multiple desktop operating systems for customers to work with?
I mean, it was not from Goldman Sachs side, it came from us only, but we have showcased the demo to them, and they are very indeed content to use this tool. So I have to follow up that what is the end result and end feedback after they might have used it for their movement, transitioning from the legacy to the enhanced profile.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So big time saver here is what we're
correct.
really kind of getting out of this. So I can only imagine Goldman Sachs has quite a few VSLBs that they're running in their environment.
Correct. In short, making the life of the admins easier. That's what I can say.
Excellent. And there's downloads for Linux, Mac, and Windows. So we're running the NSConf file through this on your desktop, making those changes for you. And
then, is there any difference between the different platforms? Any gotchas, or it should run the same without issue?
No, no, absolutely not. Cool. It would run the same. Yeah. So the flow, if you just want me to throw some light over the flow, so the moment the tool has started running, it would ask you to provide the ns.conf file, the current ns.conf file. Then it would provide you an option to give the name of the SSL profile. So the tool is intelligent enough to segregate all the SSL vServers that are the identical settings. So it will ask you that whether you provide the new enhanced SSL profile name or just leave it as it is. The tool will itself generate names for all those segregated identical SSL vServer settings that it has identified. And then from there, the new output batch profile would be created. That is your new output batch profile. So ultimately, you can use that new batch profile and batch it into the NetScaler, and it will seamlessly transition you from the legacy to the enhanced SSL profile. It's pretty much simple. It's interactive, and it's intelligent enough. The main crux is it is intelligent enough to automatically identify all the SSL vServers that have the identical settings that are currently in the legacy profile, and it would convert them to the enhanced profile. So that new batch file that you will get, you can batch it onto the NetScaler, and it will make the life of the admins very, very time saving. It will make the lives of the admins very easy.
just
That's
want
what
to
it is.
add few more points on this.
Yeah.
So Christopher, so this tool, as Subhojit told, right? So it scans your NetScaler configuration, and as he told, right, it will segregate all those SSL entities which has similar settings and create one profile. So the good idea about this is that it won't bloat your NetScaler configuration, because if you have 1,000 V servers, in that 500 have similar settings, so it will be one profile that will be created and attached to them. And also the choice of the administrator, if they want the name to be given of their choice, this tool supports that. Otherwise, if they want the tool itself to generate the name, right, so they can choose that option. So this, and it's not only limited to V servers, like any SSL entities, SSL service, service group, internal services, right? Any of the SSL entities, it is intelligent enough to read all of them, segregate them into a pools of similar settings, and then create a one profile for them. And also it takes care of, this tool is also, one good thing is it covers a configurations which has non-SSL profile things as well as legacy profile, right? So some customer can have some V servers where there is no legacy profile on that. So all the settings is at the, say, V server or service level, and maybe some V servers have the legacy profile. So it can be a mix and match of the configuration. So this tool is intelligent enough to segregate even that. And then all those V servers which has similar type of legacy profiles, it will, bucket into one. All those, say, I'm just giving an example of V server. It's applicable for service group, and internal services. And say if there is no legacy profile, and it buckets out all those V servers which has similar settings, then create them. So basically, any kind of complex configuration a customer has, it will scan it properly and try to segregate them and generate the required converted commands for the enhanced SSL profile, which
Okay,
after,
excellent.
yeah.
No, that's very helpful. Thanks for walking through that. As you were kind of describing it, I'm looking at the, and it's included on our end, but our listeners probably can't see it. Well, like for the most part, they won't be able to. But we have a flow chart here, kind of describing the steps as it's making its decisions and stepping through the options that the customers have. So it, the tool part kind of creates this batch file, and then the tool going to move the configuration file over, or that's still something we manually need to do to the NetScaler? It's part of the user part, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah, correct.
I was going to jump in and ask. I mean, is this going to get incorporated into ADM at some point? I'm assuming that this tool will incorporate into ADM.
Correct, Jeffrey. So this question has already been asked in the webinar itself as well. Like I said, we are trying to integrate it with the ADC. That is one initial phase of integration that we want, just to throw it out in the market and see what we get the feedback. Later on, we will see how more universally we can integrate it. So ADM is the likely choice for that. So we're in the thinking space right now. Correct.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. So we centralize that tool and have it natively integrated into the ADM platform. Correct. Awesome.
Absolutely.
I had another question. So Shubho and Satyam, this is for you maybe. So when we repurpose your legacy configurations or profile into this enhanced or your default profile, would there be a traffic disruption for the customers? Because there is traffic flowing, you are getting into a better, newer construct, if you will. So what does this mean for the customers from traffic disruption perspective? Would the legacy work? Would the legacy would still be there? You've prepared your enhanced and you're diverting the bind policies to your new enhanced profile.
Yeah. So Karthik, see, the idea about this thing is when the tool is run, right? So it creates a batch configurations which has basically the commands which are equivalent for needed for the enhanced SSL profile, right? So a simple example, set SSL v server then hyphen client auth will now be converted to set SSL profile name hyphen client auth, right? So all these things will be bucketed very very nicely in the batch file, and we expect a administrator also to verify these converted commands, right, thoroughly, and check that there is no misconfiguration or any loss of configuration has happened, right? So see, ideally the tool, everyone says software, there should not be any issues, but there could be, right? So we have tested it quite thoroughly, but such activities, as per my experience, are always done by taking a proper downtime, right? And
Right.
maybe done on one of the V servers or something, if not at all directly on the production, on the lab setup or something. And if they are fine with that, then they go ahead.
Yep,
to
it brings us back to the same point that your legacy profiles had a boatload of configurations, very complex for your administrators to deploy. And the fact that you're providing a pedestal to give a tool to help bind them into one comprehensible entity that can serve you for the future and make it simple and easier is definitely a good start for the admins, because they can finish this conversion, they can take the downtime, they can enable them to start using the enhanced profiles, and their journey just becomes easier over time.
Right. And also
Right.
this is like a one-time activity. See, once
Got
the
it.
customer has
Correct.
moved to the enhanced profile, moving forward, if they upgrade to a new build, they are already into enhanced profile, then
That's exactly what I said. Right.
There's some good points there. Kind of over the years, I think I started diving in really heavy with NetScaler in the version 9 of the firmware, and you'd go to customer sites and they'd have the SSL parameters set. They didn't know really what they were clicking on, or why these things were configured the way that they were. And as security over that, the past decade has really kind of ramped up, customers and folks such as ourselves on the call here, you really have to take a look and understand what it is you're working with. So it's not only the ciphers and the protocols, but it's the parameters of the timeouts, and it's the application itself. I've seen some one-off applications that had to have the ciphers in a certain order or they wouldn't work. So it's like once it was working, and you don't look at it for a year, you might come back and forget, why it is and why it's set the way that you had originally put it into play. So this seems like it'll really help take you to that next level, where not only are you getting out of just the basic SSL parameters, and but you're updating for something future and long term here by putting a little bit of time into it. Very cool.
Correct.
But
And just like yes, sorry to interrupt. Just like I said, from now onwards, not from now onwards, any new thing that is being added to the SSL context, I mean, all the new features, like Satyam mentioned, TLS version 1.3, then there is SSL interception, then ALPN protocol, then use only bound CS certificates. All the newer features that are coming out or will be coming out in the near future, everything will be there. Everything will be only on the enhanced SSL profile. So customers need to it's the need of the hour. They need to move on to the enhanced SSL profile to utilize and leverage the incoming newer features in the near future. So hence the tool is important. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, I'd say this is right behind the authentication updates that folks have to do. This is definitely something that should be on their plate to tackle.
I'm pretty sure there'd be a few SSL admins wanting to jump on this tool and start making their lives easier. It's only a nightmare for every SSL admin out there to make a small, simple configuration, and anything simple in the world of SSL is a misnomer. So there's nothing simple in SSL. You've got to be super careful, because anything wrong is going to disrupt your application. So it's better to clean up and start your journey with this tool. I think it's a good avenue to simplify this whole process. Yeah.
Most customers I've encountered are just, they're just scared to even get into it to try and fix it.
Yeah.
So they just kind of leave it as it is. And
Correct.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's great.
If it ain't broken, don't touch it.
Exactly. We've seen that a couple times.
Yeah, understood.
Too many to count, actually. That's the way it is. So it's our job at XenTegra and NetScaler, to inform customers and, show them that we're here to help them on that journey. But it's definitely something we'll have some more conversations with everybody with.
Sure.
And we are in that journey with you guys all the way.
Yes, you are. Yeah. We appreciate that. So if customers want to check this tool out, how do they get it?
So yeah, a good question. So we are trying to make it publicly exposed through our NetScaler GitHub repo. It's not up yet, I believe. Satyam, you were in charge of doing that. It's not up yet, but we'll be exposing it. It's in the process. It will be done in very near future.
So we'll
I
share
noticed
with
there was
everybody.
something. Sorry, Chris. I noticed there was something in the GitHub repository. Is that it? The one called default SSL profile script?
Correct. But we're still making some changes to it. It is not advisable to be used correctly. And like we said, we are.
Got it.
Yeah. And we are, like I said, we are also in the first phase of integration plan with the ADC itself. So that is also in place.
Yeah.
So yeah, avenues are there. We're working on it, and we'll soon be publicly exposing the tools. Yeah.
Well, that's good information. What we're here for is share and share a lot.
What do you think the timeline is when it's going to be exposed? Do you have a rough timetable?
It's quite hard to tell at this moment, but I believe within a couple of months. Yeah.
Okay.
That would be correct. Within a couple of months.
Right.
So along those lines, we've been talking about the ease of consumption for the end user, for the administrator and stuff like that. The profile itself on the NetScaler is not the only thing that they have to be concerned about. It's also the suite of, should I say, configured profile or SSL configuration on the server or clients as well that enables that security posture besides what's on the connection point. I've been in customer situations where they, going back to if it's not broke, don't fix it, where they've just left all of the SSL TLS profiles on the client endpoints themselves available for communications instead of just the ones that are needed for communication. The problem with that is if you strip out and only utilize the ones that are necessary, other things break because not everybody's thinking along those lines. So that's something to be cognizant about as well. But with this, we've been golden on best practices documentation and things like that. Is that something that is going to be part of the release of this, that for the end users, okay, this is going to be the best practices moving forward? And along those lines, is this going to be part of the A+ certification that we have on the NetScalers for a particular VIP or hosted IP, that type of stuff that we have integrated with ADM and the NetScalers themselves? Does that question make sense?
Yeah, sure. So regarding the best practices, like I said, the enhanced profile in itself is not pretty new. It's been there. So the best practices out there to maybe make it more available to customers so that they abide by them and try to abide by them. But what this particular tool does is it seamlessly transitions your legacy profile to the enhanced profile, and then as you may see fit, you can edit those SSL profiles as well. So pick and choose from what is best for you. You want best security, please go for TLS version 1.3 and so on and so forth. So you have the ability to pick and choose, and also you have the ability to make custom profiles as well. So it's just one command that makes all your custom profile by default an enhanced SSL profile. So there's a pick and choose capability, there's edit capability, but regarding your certification and A+, I'm not so sure about that at this very moment, but we can see most certainly look at it and get back to you on that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point, John. I just wanted to quickly resonate on the point that you made, that we'll work together and also figure out the fact that ADM has the capability of doing the A+ upgrade to your applications today. If the NetScaler in the backend is going to move towards enhanced profiles, we need to make sure that the strict profiles that we offer to the SSLB servers takes care of this. And that's a great point. Noted. We'll make sure we take care of that.
Yeah, for sure. To kind of come over the top on that, it's, being a consultant for many years, it was like once you got that A+ certification, everybody was happy. And we really have two different sets of customers on the NetScaler. Some of them just had it for gateway, some of them have it for every single service in their entire organization. So not only does the tool help for the front end, but the folks that might have just used NetScaler for access to the Citrix environment, they were leaving on the table all those backend cipher groups and configurations that were, they might have had an older version of Windows, and then they start dabbling in the SSL configurations because the security team's knocking on their door, and it's like, oh no, now I broke my backend service, and it just opened up a whole nother project of we got to update all the backend servers as well. Well, this seems like you have no excuse anymore. It's like you could tackle not only the front end and the back end at the same time, and then really get that understanding of what you're working with here. So I see a lot of potential in this and a lot more conversations in the future to be had, and definitely a nice tool that the consultants at XenTegra can have in their tool belt here to especially kind of speed up the job and get things done for everything up to date for the customers.
Correct.
Yeah, very nice. So as we I feel like I've got a pretty good understanding of what we're looking at here with the Enhanced SSL Profiles and the tool that'll help enable us to get there. Anybody have any closing ideas or points that they want to discuss as we kind of wrap up here? I think we got it all pretty covered. All right, very good. All right, well, gentlemen, I super appreciate everybody joining today. See, it wasn't too bad. But very good group, very good depth and insight into how to work with this tool and some of how we're going to handle it and work with ADM and kind of the roadmap on everything. So I appreciate everybody joining today, and hope to see you guys in Florida in 2 weeks. And if I don't, we'll circle around shortly and have another podcast.
Thanks a lot.
One thing I did want to mention, on June 28th, we will have a webinar with the team here. So we're working with Jason Poole and some of the folks in the EU. So look out for that. And, hit us up, reach out to your client executives at XenTegra, and we'll help you on the journey.
Yeah. One other thing I wanted to just encourage all of the extended NetScaler fraternity is to join the NetScaler community as much as possible. It's simply logging into community.netscaler.com. It has a lot of veteran engineers, developers, sales support, who churn a lot of exciting topics and can answer any related questions to customer deployments and even something that we discussed right now. I think if you guys haven't joined yet, I would strongly recommend that you do and make the best use of it.
That's a great point, Karthick. Thank you. Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, a lot of live demos are posted up there. XenTegra tries to, we visit that pretty often and try to re-promote some of those. So if you see it up on the XenTegra page, it's probably linking you back into the community.netscaler.com. So it seems to be our go-to place for the latest and greatest news and options that we have to work with here. All righty. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much again. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks a ton for setting this up. And again, welcome, Jeffrey.
Take care.
Have a great day, everyone.
So everyone, yeah, thanks everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.